This is Tony Moeller with Integrity Advisory. I wanted to touch base with you today to go over a couple items. One, we're in the middle of a bear market. This won't last, but while we're in it, it is painful. One of the things I wanted to talk about is some of the corrective actions you can take in times like these. One, we need to watch our expenses if we can and cut back on any unnecessary spending. Secondly, we want to make sure if we are pulling money out of investments, we want to pull them out of the short-term and more conservative bucket and not sell or access our longer-term money that's set aside for growth to offset future withdrawals. So that's real important, trying to focus on leveraging or using our short-term bonds or our cash assets we've had set aside for times like these. The other thing we can look at too is, if need be, people actually reducing their monthly withdrawal. What that does, it takes pressure off the portfolio. So if someone's able to do that, lower their withdrawals for a temporary period of time, it really takes the pressure off the portfolio to perform, and it gives the portfolio time to come back. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but someone that can come back on their monthly withdrawals for a period of time, it could be 3, 6, 9 months, it gives the portfolio time to heal, lets things come back, and it puts you in a much better spot years down the road. The other thing that you may want to take into account is, if the market's down and you have IRAs and you have the ability that you don't need the money, you may want to consider a Roth IRA conversion, because you're converting investment money that's down in price and paying lower taxes because of the reduced value. Then when it goes back up in price, it's gone back up under a tax-free account. So that's another thing to consider, and we can look at the tax ramifications of considering something like that with your CPA. One thing that's changed is, because of the COVID-19 or coronavirus, they are extending the tax filing deadline. So for right now, the IRS has said you've got till July 15th to file taxes, but you also have to July 15th to make your HSA, health savings account contributions, or your IRA and Roth IRA contributions. So this is a big plus. People may have been on the fence whether they wanted to do it or not. This gives you more time for planning. So that's a big positive. We assume that all the states are going to go along with that. So we would assume it's going to be a July 15th deadline across the board. But for right now, the IRS has said we're going to move the tax filing deadline and the contribution dates back to July 15th. The other thing I want to touch base on is that we are accessible during this time. We have had multiple meetings. A lot of these are going to be on the phone. We've been sending information out email. We've also been meeting electronically or online via GoToMeeting or Zoom. So that's a way for us to stay in touch. Matter of fact, one of the meetings we had yesterday, Matt and I were on the phone with a client that lives several hours from here. We were talking to the husband and wife, and nothing goes perfectly. And during the meeting, we were doing a video cast where they could see us, and as we were talking, and Matt's daughter runs across the room and runs up into his lap. It actually stopped the meeting cold, and they really wanted to focus on him and his child, and versus their portfolio at the time. So it was just kind of nice to see that even during all of this, and we do take it serious, we could actually take a quick break. They kind of were talking to Matt about his daughter. They could kind of ask questions, say hi to her online. They started talking a little bit about their grandkids. So it's just nice that during a time like this, we can kind of step back just for a moment and focus on family and things along those lines. In addition, I've been talking to other advisory firms. How are they doing? What's their strategy? And it's almost the same across the board. Their clients have handled it well. There have not been any wholesale major changes of the portfolio. People are not selling out randomly. So we're all basically in the same boat. So it's been very interesting to talk to them and find out everything that Matt and I believe and are seeing and doing with the portfolios. Other firms that manage hundreds of millions of dollars combined are doing similar things as what we're doing. So that was kind of reassuring. I wanted to share that. Lastly, I'm in the office, but we're kind of taking a break since we're not having client meetings. I'm going to take just kind of grow a beard short term. I know my wife and daughter will not approve of that, but if you've met Matt or Scott, you know they're follically challenged and they're not able to do that. But we're working hard, but we're also kind of catching our breath and kind of to take some of the tension out since everybody's working remotely. Just be aware, We're here, we're accessible, we can meet on the phone, we can meet online, we can send you information. At this time, we want to address any questions or concerns you have. And if you do, reach out to us. We're here for you. And we hope that as it gets nicer, you and your family are going to be able to enjoy spring as we go through this and come out on the other side. Thank you.